Good evening guys. So isang maulang gabi na naman and then ayun. So sa kasamaang palad nagsuspend ng classes tonight para tomorrow bukas September 20 to tomorrow is wala tayong pasok. So unfortunately hindi tayo makakapagkita-kita by tomorrow. However guys, kailangan natin makahabol sa topic because P3 and CFE is approaching. So kailangan natin ma-secure yung mga topics at kailangan natin maihabol yung mga topics na kailangan pa nating maitackle before mag common final exam. And of course, the P3. So, ayan na naman. Meron namang ads. Apologies. So, yun. Guys, ang P3 is challenging siya. Especially, maraming topic na nakapaloob dito. And isa ito, yung 3D na to, yung isa sa pinakamahirap na topic under the P3. So, please, listen. And, guys, please panoorin nyo itong mabuti. Okay? So, guys, ang topic natin ngayon is all about the resultant force of concurrent three-dimensional force system. So una pa lang guys, ito pa lang, nasa topic pa lang tayo, I want you guys to denote kung ano ba yung topic natin. As you can see, okay, concurrent, okay, of three-dimensional force system. Resultant of force system. Actually, dalawa to, isang equilibrium and isang resultant. But again guys, tulad naman ng discussion natin before, bago tayo dumako sa pagkupit ng equilibrium ng force system, talagang dumadaan naman muna tayo sa resultant. Tama? So, doon tayo dadaan ngayon. Okay? And then guys, this topic is, kung mapansin nyo dito, is meron pa rin tayo mga concept na ma-i-apply natin from the previous topics, from P1 topics hanggang P2. Okay? However, meron tayong mga changes dito. Since again nga, ang ina-analyze na natin dito is three-dimensional force system. Okay? So, bago tayo tumungo, siguro discuss muna natin ito. Okay? For our lesson objectives, bago ang lahat, okay, para alam lang natin, tsaka align tayo, ang goal natin today is to study the composition and equilibrium of concurrent force system. Actually, may idea na kayo dyan, di ba? So, mamaya itakal natin. And determine the resultant forces. Ayan, sa ngayon, ang idea or goal lang natin is to determine the resultant forces of concurrent. Ito, please take note of this. Concurrent 3D force system. Okay, so yan yung pinaka goal natin. Okay, 3D force system. Okay? Supposedly, for our face-to-face topic, gusto ko sana kayong tanongin neto. Okay, for 30 seconds nga, think and recall of the following. But yun, sa ngayon, bago natin i-next yung slide, I think bigyan ko na rin kayo ng time siguro to think kung ano ba. So, name the four systems we've discussed in our earlier topics. Explain how these four systems are classified. So, ano-ano ba yun? Pag-isipan nyo munang mabuti bago tayo mag-proceed. Okay? So, ano ba yung mga naiisip nyo nun? Okay? Pag sinabing force system, okay, let's proceed na, sige. Pagka sinabi guys na force system, it talks about what? Okay? Meron tayong classification yan. Una is according to the plane in which the force acts. Okay? Okay, kaya kayo guys pinagawa ng axis, ang purpose sana nun is for us to determine kung ano ba. Okay, sige, maglalagay tayo ng, ano sabi ka doon? Blue. Okay, and then green. Let's say green. And then, yun, may red naman na tayo. So, ba't ganun? Okay. Green, blue, and then red. Okay. So, kaya ko guys kayo pinagawa nun. Sige, i-drawing natin. Let's say, ito yung ano natin. Okay. Okay. Let's say, ayan yung ginawa nyo. Okay. Pero guys, i-discuss pa rin natin siya. So, dalhin nyo pa rin guys yung mga pinagawa ko sa inyong axis na yan when nag-face-to-face class na ulit tayo. So, for example, this is your z-axis, this is your x, and this is your y. Okay? For the plane in which the force acts, yun yung tinatawag natin guys as coplanar force system. Okay? Kapag yung force natin is nag-act lang dito. For example, ang present mo lang is etong red tsaka blue. Yung force mo daw is nag-act lang dito. Yan ang may una natin pinag-aralan before, di ba? Ayan, ganyan lang yung nangyayari before. O, huwag nyo muna pansinin yung kulay green. Okay, ayan lang. Ganyan lang tinatawag natin bilang coplanar force system. Isang plane lang. Ano tawag natin dito? Y, Z plane. Ganun yung basahin. Okay? So now guys, paano naman kapag sinabi na yung force system natin is non-coplanar na? Ibig sabihin, nag-act na siya with 3-dimensional components. For example, ito. Okay, lagyan ko lang ng okay. And then, I think burahin ko muna to. Ito guys, again, is for for coplanar force system. Paano naman guys, pagka yung force mo is nag-a-act na siya on a 3D space. Okay? Okay. Ito yung force system mo. Okay, ibig sabihin, ito yan. Okay. Ibig sabihin, nag-a-act ka na with 3-dimensional components. Ibig sabihin, yung force mo is masa-separate na siya not just into 2 component, which is yung kanina nakalagay natin dito. Ayan, po ganyan is x and y and z plane lang. Ibig sabihin, z component tsaka y component lang siya. Ito na guys is meron na tayo dito or magkakaroon tayo dito ng x, y, z component. So, ibig sabihin, dito iikot yung discussion natin mostly. Okay? And then guys, yun nga, okay na tayo sa non-coplanar. Non-coplanar is kapag yung force mo is nag-a-act on a 3-dimensional plane. Pagka naman guys, sinabi na collinear, okay, pag sinabi guys na collinear, this is to recall lang ng idea natin before. Pag sinabi na collinear yung force system natin, if this is your F1, this is your F2. Yung force mo is naglalay on the same line of action. Okay? And then, pagka naman sinabing concurrent, this is your point of consideration, okay? And then, yung force mo naman is nagpa-pass through at a common point of consideration, okay? Yan pag sinabing concurrent. Kapag naman kayo sinabing parallel, okay, yung force mo is nag-a-act forming 90-degree angle with each other, okay? Example, ito yun. And then, ayun yan. Then, perpendicular with each other yan, okay? Ang distance yan is perpendicular with each other. Kaya parallel sila. At pagka naman sa general non-concurrent, basically, ito guys yung application ng mga thrust analysis natin, something like that, yung mga thrust natin. For example, kumukuha tayo ng, ng reaction force. Okay, dito, meron kang force here, and then force dito, and then guys, yung force natin na yan, sige, red ko. Yung may force tayo dyan, and then may force tayo dito, meron tayo external forces dyan, may reaction forces tayo dito. Guys, yung force system na yan is yung mga forces mo is hindi nagpa-pass through on a single point, hindi sila concurrent, and hindi rin lahat is parallel with each other. So, ibig sabihin yun yung general force system natin, which ang force natin is nag-a-act, yung forces natin is nag-a-act non-concurrently and non-parallel. Okay? So, I think yun lang. And then, ayun na, ito yung definition. Pakitingnan na lang din. And then, okay. So, introduction muna tayo. A concurrent force system, tulad yan ang sinabi ko kanina, ulitin ko lang ulit. A concurrent force system, guys, is a system where all forces intersect at a single point. The lines of action of the forces converge at this point, making it a common point of origin or concurrency. Basically, guys, yung consideration natin dito sa analysis ng 3D natin is all more on more on concurrent force system lang. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa tayo mag-consider or sa topic natin na to, hindi tayo mag-consider ng non-concurrent or non-parallel na force system. Kasi mas madiwara yon, mas complicated yon. Dito muna tayo guys sa concurrent force system ng 3D. Okay? Ibig sabihin, bibigyan ko lang kayo ng idea, ulitin natin axis mo. Okay? Pag inulit mo yung axis mo na yan, paano bigyan natin kanina? Dito by blue. Anyway, regardless, inulit mo yung axis na yan, ibig sabihin, ang common point nila is itong origin na to. Okay? Ibig sabihin, redraw ko lang ulit yung yung axis natin, okay? And then yung force mo is nag-a-act dito. Okay? Pwedeng may force ka pa na nag-a-act din papunta naman doon. And papunta naman doon, which is all in 3-dimensional. So ibig sabihin, ano 'yun? Pwede mo bang i-treat yung force system mo na 3D siya, but also concurrent force system mo din siya mai-categorize. Ibig sabihin, nagpa-pass through pa rin at a single point. Yun nga lang, kinaibahan ngayon, bukod dun sa 3D natin is, meron na siyang third dimensional axis. Okay? So, para mas maliwanag, okay, ito na. Dapat kasi sa face-to-face yan, kaya may mga ganyang Kung titingnan nyo guys, please take this picture. In 2D, kung mapansin nyo, ganito yung mga naging analysis natin sa concurrent force system in 2D. Tama? Isang dimension lang nakikita mo. Or dalawang dimension lang pala, or isang dimension lang, two dimension lang nakikita mo with two axes. Pag sinabi kasi 2 dimension guys, nakadepende tayo dun sa number of axis present on the plane. Pagka 2D lang or 2-dimensional, meron kang y, x, or either y, z, depende naman sa magiging axis mo. But typically kasi for ang ginagamit naman talaga natin is x and y. Okay? And kung mapapansin mo dito sa 3D, hindi lang dalawa. Kaya nga 3-dimensional siya kasi tatlo, di ba? Meron kang z, x, y, x, z, and also y, and another z, x, and also y. Kung mapapansin nyo, yun lang na may pinagkaiba nila. Nadagdagan lang ng isang reference axis. Okay? So, yun. Pwede na tayo mag-proceed. Okay? And then, for analysis of 3D force system naman, makinig, mabuti. Okay? When a force is resolved into 3 components, x, y, z, kapag ka daw yung force system mo, kapag ka daw yung, pagka daw yung force mo is niresolve mo into 3 components, x, y, z, okay? Yung components na yon ay tinatawag bilang Cartesian, components. Okay? For analytical work, we can represent these components in one or two ways, either scalar or Cartesian vector notation. Pero for this discussion, guys, okay, which is mahahati dapat kasi sa dalawa, isang for Cartesian and for scalar ng resultant, ang way na gagamitin natin. However, for this discussion muna, sa isang buong discussion na to, dito muna tayong focus. Okay? Sa Cartesian vector notation. Okay? For Cartesian vector, okay? For Cartesian vector, the operations of algebra when applied in solving problems in 3 dimensions are greatly simplified if the vectors are first represented in a Cartesian vector form, which is madidiscuss siya mamaya. Okay? And then, ayun lang, nililipat ako guys dun sa isang note ko para ma-discuss ko sa inyo kung paano ba natin madederive yung mga formulas. Okay, kasi meron tayo ditong mga formulas, may mga conventions tayo na gagamitin dito. I-elaborate and i-derive ko lang yun bago tayo mag-proceed into problem solving. Okay? Para mas madali natin maintindihan. Okay guys, makinig na ulit. So lumipat lang ako ng ibang notepad para lang mas para lang mas ma-represent ko yung nang mabuti yung mga derivation ng formula natin. Unahin natin yung for rectangular. Okay. For rectangular components. Okay, for rectangular components of a vector. In general, a vector A, okay, kung titingnan nyo mabuti, as a vector A na tinutukoy dyan, itong kulay blue na to. This is our vector A, okay? Kapalan ko lang ng konti. This is our vector A, yung tinutukoy na yan. Which will have 3 rectangular components. Kasi yun yung sinasabi ko, di ba? Mag-a-act na siya into X, Y, Z plane. Kaya magkakaroon siya ng X coordinate. Ibig sabihin, from this origin, ito guys, yung binulugan ko na yun. Sige, gawin natin yung red. Yung red na to, yun yung tinatawag natin as origin. Saan ba nag-originate yung vector? Saan ba siya nagsimula? At guys, by this topic, yung origin na yun, yung kinoconsider natin as point of concurrency. Diyan magpapass through lahat ng forces mo. So, nagkakaintindihan? So, ibig sabihin pala, yan yung, from that, diyan natin maiko-consider yung coordinate axis natin. Sa X and Y, di ba dati, nung gumagawa tayo ng mga graph, something like that, from origin, di ba, is 0, 0, 0. Ano yung coordinate mo from 0, 0? So, from mula dito, gano'ng kakalayo hanggang dito, mula dito sa origin mo, gano'ng kalayo yung X mo, that's your X coordinate. From that origin, gano'ng kalayo yung Y coordinate mo, and from Z origin, gano'n naman kalayo from the Z axis, Z component mo, gano'n naman kalayo from the origin. So, ibig sabihin, yun yung mga tinatawag natin as XYZ coordinates. Okay? These components are determined using 2 successive applications of the parallelogram law. Okay? At the parallelogram law. Paano ba yun? Una guys kasi, makinig kayo mabuti, meron tayo ditong tinatawag na A'. Okay? The A'. Okay? This is just a vector representation ng 3D. Mamaya malalaman nyo sa ano yung gamit yan. But guys, makinig muna, paano ba natin na-derive ito? Yung mga formula na to. Yung A plus A prime is equal to A prime plus AZ. Then, A prime is equal to AX plus AY. Okay? Kuya, analyze yung mabuti guys. Di ba sabi 2 successive parallelogram law? Kung titingnan nyo, itong vector A natin, which is eto yan. Okay, wait lang. Ito yung vector A natin. Tama, siya rin yan eh. Siya yung vector A natin na yan. Okay? Nirepresent, nasa point lang yung A. But again guys, yung buong vector na yan is the vector A. Kung titingnan mo, hindi ba pagka inilipat natin to, di ba, may parallelogram law, dun tayo nag-head to tail method, mirror. O especially sa parallelogram law. Kung i-recall nyo yun guys, hindi ba etong AZ na to, okay? Yung AZ na yan, kapag i-mirror mo yan, okay, or tinake mo yung tail at mirror mo yan doon sa may from point of kinuha mo yung head niya and then i-connect mo dito, pwede mo bang sabihin that this is also your AZ? Okay? At kapag guys, nakakreate ka ng ganyan, ang tendency, nakakabuo ka ngayon, this is your A prime by the way, A prime. Okay? And then, kukonect mo to dito. Okay. Wala. Okay. I-connect mo yan dyan, and makakabuo ka ngayon ng triangle. Okay? Which is, eto ngayon yung bubuo mo na triangle. Tama ba? Okay? Ibig sabihin, we can represent that, okay, as a rectangular component vector, okay, that yung A mo, okay, is simply equal, to, ano ba yung mga component niya? Okay? The A prime plus the AC. Okay? Easy. Ngayon naman guys, okay na tayo. Nakuha na natin yung idea natin for the parallelogram law sa unang triangle ng form. Ngayon naman, how about this one? Sa baba naman tayo. Okay? Ito, wala naman siyang masyadong bearing, but I want you guys na makita lang talaga kung paano ba, saan ba siya nakuha. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, how about this one naman? Okay? Ngayon, hindi ba kung kukunin natin to, okay, kung kukunin natin tong portion na yan naman, at ilipat natin dito by parallelogram law, tama? Makaka-create ka ngayon ng angle dyan dito naman. Ito kasi kanina nakaka-create ka ng angle dyan eh. Okay, hindi lang natin nailagay. Ito pa. Mula dyan hanggang dito sa red. Okay? At ito namang green na to is mula dito sa red hanggang dun sa may AX natin. Okay? And you know guys that alam mo naman na that yung AY mo na yan is also equal to this AY. And this is your AX. Nakalagay na nga, di ba? And this is also still your A prime. So, pwede ba natin siyang i-rewrite as your A prime? Okay? As A prime naman, as A prime equal to AX, okay? Plus AY. So, ibig sabihin, yung A prime mo na to is equal to the AX component plus AY. Yung A mo naman, which is ito guys, yung A mo naman is equal to vertical and horizontal component ng axis na yan, AZ and A prime. Okay? To eliminate A prime, okay, i-represent lang natin yung A prime as, i-substitute mo lang yung value. Okay, kasi dalawang equation yan eh. Okay, this will be your equation 1, okay, your equation 1, and then your equation 2. Substitute mo lang. Okay? Yung equation 2 doon sa equation 1. Therefore, yung A mo is equal to what? Yung A mo is simply equal, okay, to, sorry. Wait lang. Mali pala yung ko. Okay? Isa-substitute mo guys yung value ng A doon sa A prime para ma-eliminate mo yung alin? Para ma-eliminate mo yung A prime. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ang gagawin natin is eliminating A prime. Okay, is A prime. Ganun. Okay, wait lang. Is A prime, okay, equal to A minus AZ. Okay? Tama ba? Ini-represent lang natin for equation. This is equation 1, di ba? O, yan. Okay? Ngayon, guys, yung A prime na yan, para ma-eliminate natin yan, isa-substitute natin yan doon sa equation 2. Okay? For our equation 2, di ba meron tayong A prime is simply equal to AX plus AY. Okay? Since ang A prime natin is itong portion na to, since ang A prime natin is portion na yan, therefore, if we're going to substitute that dito sa equation sa A prime na to, dito sa A prime natin na yan, ang kalalabasan yan is simply, A minus AZ equal to AX plus AY. Again guys, itong portion na to is A prime. Okay? So simplifying, pwede na makukuha na natin guys that yung A mo, okay, ilipat natin yung AZ ngayon papunta dun sa kabila. Okay? Equal to AX plus AY plus AZ. So dun nakuha yun guys. So dun nakuha yung rectangular representation ng vector na yan. Okay? Okay. Next naman guys is eto naman tayo. Okay? Para naman guys, next na ano natin, pag-aralan naman natin is the Cartesian vector representation. Ito mahalaga to Mahalaga to guys. Ayan, baka ngayon nyo palang tumarinig, especially sa ngayon palang nakakarinig. Okay. For 3 dimensions, the set of Cartesian unit vectors is represented by the letter ijk. Okay? Okay. This is used to designate the direction of x, y, and z axis respectively. Using these vectors, the 3 components of A in the Cartesian vector can be written in the Cartesian vector form, which is eto. Okay. Ano ba yan? Which is etong part na to. Okay? Ngayon ganito guys, makinig kayo mabuti. Pinagpalagay lang natin that meron lang tayong isang Cartesian, ang tawag dito, meron lang tayong isang Cartesian vector na given dito. Okay? In every Cartesian vector, in every force vector, for example, drawing ko muna yung x, z, x, yung mga ginawa-gawa natin kanina dyan. Okay? So, again nga, ayan, and then ito yung blue natin, and then ito naman yung x. Okay? Sorry. Okay? Ngayon guys, makinig. Ito kasi is ni-represent lang nga natin as one single component lang of A. Okay? Bawat A na yan guys is merong i-represent mo para siyang resultant, kumbaga. Okay? Ano ko ba siya mas madaling para siyang resultant. And then, para mas mai-represent mo yung coordinate niya, okay? You have to indicate the position vector unit. Okay? So, ibig sabihin guys, di ba, kukunin mo yung horizontal component niya, which is yung AX. Okay? And then, kukunin mo rin, hindi siya horizontal. So, kalimutan natin yun. Huwag niyong isipin yun. Okay? And in this 3D, wala tayong horizontal, vertical na i-consider. Gawin natin guys, para mas maging malinaw sa atin, yung X, Y, and Z are 3-dimensional axis siya, na hindi natin ma-represent or limited into horizontal and vertical kasi nga 3-dimensional siya. So, kalimutan nyo na yun. Sabihin na natin lagi is x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Or z component, y component, and x component. Okay? Yung A natin na yan, di ba alam nyo guys, dati, sige, in 2D muna tayo. Di ba in 2D? Di ba in 2D guys? In 2D, okay? Di ba in 2D, meron tayong graph tuloy. Meron tayong 2 dimension, which is ito nasanay tayo that this is x and y. Okay? Ngayon guys, ito yung force mo. And then, yung F mo na yan is mahahati into 2 component. This will be your Fx and this will be your Fy naman. Guys, in 3D, same lang yon. Wala siyang masyadong pagbabago. Okay? Huwag tayo masyadong but wala siyang masyadong pagbabago. In 3D, ang pinagkaiba lang, okay, in 3D, okay, ang pinagkaiba lang niya guys is ganito. Okay? Wait lang. Okay? Ibig sabihin lang niyan, di ba nga concurrent force system yan. Ngayon, pagkain na niyan, ang mangyayari is sisingaw ngayon, ito na naman tayo, sisingaw ngayon yung mga components niyan dyan, dito, and then dito. At kung ito tinitreat natin as Z, this is your Y, and this is your X, therefore, yung mga sisingaw na forces na to, this will be your F, X, this will be your FZ, and this will be your FY. Again guys, this is your F. So, ibig sabihin, inire-represent lang natin, kinukuha natin yung component niya. However, kapag sinulat natin yan, ito lang din yan guys yung letter A na to, inire-represent ko lang siya as F para force na tayo. Kung i-represent natin siya as ganyan, ibig sabihin pala, kailangan natin siyang in 3D, kailangan natin siyang lagyan. Yung fx mo, lagyan mo ng I, yung fy mo, lagyan mo ng j, at yung fz mo is lagyan mo ng k. And take note guys na hindi mo pwedeng balibaligtarin yan. Yung I is for x, j is for y, and k is for z. Okay, para hindi tayo lito-lito. Although, hindi ka naman limited ng etong taas na to is z, etong baba na to is x, etong baba na to, etong gilid na yan is y. Pwede mo pagbalik-balik ta rin yan. Pwedeng ito gawin mong z, ito gawin mong y, ito gawin mong x. Okay? Pero, ang kapartner lang lagi niyan is I, K, and then J. Yun ang hindi pwedeng magkapalit-palit, guys. Okay? Kasi, yun yung representation mo ng mga axis. Yung vector unit mo na yun. Okay? So, nagkaintindihan ba? Ibig sabihin, ganun pala yun, na in 3D, kailangan guys, na ma-represent natin siya in Cartesian vector form. Ganito yun, no? Cartesian vector form. Okay? Paano naman sir kapag dalawa na yung force niya? Magandang tanong. Actually, yun nga yung gusto kong i-elaborate, 'di ba? Kahit na ala naman tatanong sa inyo na para bang ako'y may naririnig na hindi niyo naririnig. Okay? Okay. Sir, paano naman po pagka dalawa na yung namin, yung kino-consider na force? For example, sir, meron na akong wait lang. Okay? For example, sir, meron na akong force na andito, halimbawa, wait lang. Okay. Nilalagyan ko niyan para mas madali nyo ma-identify kung saan ba nakaturo. Okay. Sige na nga ito. Ano sir, kung meron na akong force diyan, tapos meron pa akong force dito. Okay? Sabihin natin yan mo balik ko. Antok na kasi eh. Okay. Pero okay lang, laban lang. Okay? O, tika, burahin ko muna ito. Naaalibad-bar na kung paano. Okay. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, sir, meron na akong F1 dito, tsaka F2. Okay? Basically, guys, pagka ganyan, ang mangyayari yan, syempre, yung F1 mo, teka, i-represent natin as red, teka, para lang mas maliwanagan, okay? Kalito pala ginawa ko na yan, magkamukha pa yung kulay. Para lang mas maliwanagan, okay? Gawin ko naman siguro ito, okay? Example, ayan. Okay? This will be your F1. Ngayon, yung F1 mo na yan, syempre, meron niyang magkaka-component dito yan. Okay? Magkaka-component dun yan at magkaka-component dun yan. For your F2 naman, magkaka-component din dito yan. Magkaka-component dun yan along this axis. At magkaka-component din ng pagano yan. This will be, okay, pagka dininote natin yan, this will be, again, this is your, this is your Z, Y, and X. Ito muna guys, yung typical convention gagawin natin para discussion purposes, no? At again, pwede magkabali-baligtad yan, depende sa trip nyo. Anyway, kasi denotion lang naman talaga yan. Depende naman sa'yo yan. Okay. So, ito is F, X, F. Sabi lang no? Z nga yun FZ1. Ito naman is FZ2. Okay? And, F Y1, and this will be your Fx1. Para naman dito guys, this will be your F2x. Etong portion naman na to will be your F2y or Fy2. Para sa mga sasabihin nyo, sir, baligtad yung mo. Anyway, baka kahit magbaligtad mo yan, 2y or y2, same lang yan. F2z ka naman dyan. F2z. So, kung ganyan, ibig sabihin pala, dalawa nga yung magbubuo mo na vector component yan. For your F1, okay? For your F1, magkakaroon ka dyan ng F X1I plus F Y1J plus F Z1K. Para naman sa F2 mo is equal to Fx2i plus 2J, di ba nakakalito? Plus FZ2K. So, ganyan lang yan. O, ibig sabihin yan, yan na ngayon yung magiging force component mo in Cartesian vector form. Okay? Pag sinabi guys na hinahanap yung Cartesian vector form, ang kailangan mo is eto. Okay? Mamaya, sample problem, mas magigets nyo yan. Alam ko, nakakalito talaga yan. Ako nga rin, nalilito eh. Anyway guys, so ayan na. Okay? Ngayon, yun lang naman tinatawag natin na Cartesian vector form. Paano naman guys yung magnitude of Cartesian? Okay? Wait lang. Okay? So, delete ko muna ito. Ano ko naisulat. Okay, delete ko muna yan. Okay. So guys, para naman dito, okay, para naman guys sa magnitude of the Cartesian vector, basically, if A is expressed, okay, teka, burahin ko muna. If A is expressed as Cartesian vector, okay, sige, yun. If A is expressed as the Cartesian vector, okay, ibig sabihin, its magnitude can be determined as shown, okay. Kung papansin nyo, ano yung napoform ng blue, saka yung ano na yan, okay, hinighlight or naka-highlight sa akin na blue, and then yung kulay gray na yan, yung grayed area na yan, this one. Okay. Kung mapansin nyo, nakaka-form siya ng dalawang right triangle, tama? And by Pythagorean theorem, two successive Pythagorean theorem, kung titingnan mo mabuti, eto yan. O for the gray area, teka lang, sulat ko muna. Tama ba? Okay? For the gray area, this is your right triangle, this is your AXI ngayon, tama? And this will be your AYJ. Okay? Or simply A, and then this will be your A prime. Okay? Yan ngayon nabubuo mong first right triangle. Ito guys, itong portion na to, ayan, yung portion na yan, para sa mas malinaw sa lahat. Para naman sa blue area na to, okay, yung blue na ito guys, i-drawing naman natin yan. Okay? Para naman dito, hindi ba makaka-form ka din ng right triangle o baka malito iba, baligtarin natin. Okay? And then guys, ito yung magiging right triangle mo dyan. This will be your A. Tama? Ito rin yun. Yung A na to, ito rin yan. Siya rin yan. Ayun, nakalagay naman. So, A dyan. And then, this one will be your, ano yan? Kung itatransfer mo tong AZ papunta dito, di ba pwede mo rin siyang sawagin as this will be your AZK? Okay, this will be your AZK. And yung baba naman na to is natabunan lang dyan, but this is your A prime. Okay? This is still your A prime. Considering na meron tayong right triangle, di ba pwede tayong gumamit ng two successive Pythagorean theorem. Dito, ang mangyayari dito, tanggalin nyo muna itong vector component, no? Alisin nyo muna yan. O simply represent natin to as AY, AX. Okay? And then this will be your AZ naman. Ito, baka sabihin nyo, nagbago na may kulay. This will be your AZ naman. Okay? O yan. Ayan lang i-consider natin yan. Ayan. Ngayon, pag gumamit tayo ng Pythagorean theorem, simply yung A prime mo is equal to square root ng AY square plus AX square. Yun ba A prime? A prime is AX square plus AY square, so same lang siya. And then, para naman dito sa sa A mo, simply equal to A prime square plus AC square. Tama? Nagkakaintindihan ba? So, kung sisimplify natin to both, ang mangyayari dyan, siguro, ang mangyayari na lang dito, para is, gawin na natin tong A square. Is equal to, para hindi mo natin siya square, AY square plus AX square. Okay? Ito naman guys, is simply A square is equal to A prime square plus plus AZ square. And again guys, 'di ba, para ma-eliminate natin yung A prime, ano gagawin? Ang gagawin natin guys is isa-substitute natin, okay? Isa-substitute natin. This is A prime This is A prime. A prime square. Ang gagawin natin para ma-eliminate natin yung A prime is simply tawag dito? Yung portion na to, isa-substitute natin dun sa kabila. Nagkakaintindihan ba? So, ibig sabihin, yung A square mo, okay, para pag this will be your equation 1 kasi, and this will be your equation 2. Okay? Ibig sabihin, isa-substitute mo yung a prime mo. Asan ba a prime natin yan? Ito, isa-substitute mo dyan. Okay? Ang mangyayari dyan is simply ay square. Okay, a square ngayon is equal to ano? Yung ay square mo is equal to a prime square mo. Sorry. Yung a prime square mo is equal to ay square plus ax square. Isa-substitute mo yun dito, which is, ang mangyayari, ay square plus ax square plus az square. And eto guys, yung portion na to is a prime square. Tama? Eto yon. Eto yung portion na yon, yung tinutukoy ko. Tama ba? So, tama. So, if you're going to simplify the equation, simply a square is equal to ay square plus ax square plus az square. So, iayos ko na that your a is simply square root of a x square, unahin ko na x plus ay square plus az square. So, doon naman natin nakuha yung form na to. Okay? That's sa pagkuha ng magnitude ng Cartesian vector. And again guys, bawat isang force vector doon sa plane na kinoconsider natin ay may kanya-kanyang Cartesian vector form. Yung halimbawa, meron kayo niya, tinukoy natin kanina dito, that your f1 is equal to fxi or fx1i plus fy1j plus fz1k, and then the other one for the f2. So, ibig sabihin, kapag kukunin mo yung magnitude ng component ng f mo na yon, is simply you're going to, kukunin mo ngayon yung mga value na to, and then gagamitin mo tong formula na to. For example, yung F1 mo. Okay, for example, yung F1 mo is equal to Fx1i plus F1, plus Fy1j plus Fz1k. Okay? O, ibig sabihin, kukunin mo lang tong mga force, yung F1 mo ngayon is simply equal to square root ng ng fxi square, fx square plus fy square plus fz square. So, ganun lang guys, para makuha mo yung value ng F1 mo. Parang pabaligtad na pagkuha lang guys yan ng component into resultant into component. Ganun lang yun. Okay? And for the next one naman is the coordinate direction angles. Ito guys is medyo madiwara itong pagkuha ng angles na ito. But tandaan nyo itong mabuti, no? The coordinate direction angles. Okay? We will define the direction of A by coordinate direction angles. The alpha, the beta, and the gamma. Ito magkasundo tayo. Makinig kayo mabuti. For X component, okay? Kasi ang tinutukoy natin dyan pala, na coordinate direction angles, okay, is the angle formed nung vector force mo from the axis of consideration. Okay? Ibig sabihin, sige, isa-isahin natin. Ibig sabihin, ang coordinate angles mo is ito yung coordinate vector, di ba? Ito yung vector, vector mo, di ba? Ngayon, ano yung angle na na-form niyan? Okay, di ba? I-highlight natin na red itong X. I-highlight natin na green itong Y. At i-highlight natin siguro na blue na lang. Ay, gawin natin as ito. Yung teal. Teal ba yan? Anyway. Yan. Ngayon, yung coordinate direction angles natin, okay, is the angle na form mo between those axes. Ngayon, magkasundo tayo. Okay? For alpha, yan yung angle mo. Ito, re-red ko na yan. Yung alpha, yan yung angle mo na na-form with your x-axis. For your beta naman, is yung angle na na-form mo with your y-axis. At for dito sa may z-axis mo naman, is consider natin yan as your gamma. Okay? Nagkakaintindihan ba? Let me check kung tama ba. And then for z, yes, gamma. Okay? At ang symbol niyan guys, okay, is simply for alpha, alpha is ganyan. And then beta is ang symbol niyan is ganyan. And then yung gamma is ang symbol niya is ganito. Okay? Ngayon, kung titingnan nyo itong figure, o beta muna tayo. Ano ba yung angle na, ano ba, alpha muna pala, sorry. Ano ba yung alpha? Ang alpha is nagre-represent ng angle between the vector and the x-axis. Meaning, ano ngayon yung mag-perform ng vector mo na yan towards this x-axis. Again, this is your x-axis. Okay? Nagkakaintindihan? And then guys, for gamma naman, for beta naman, ano naman guys yung na-form ng vector mo na to towards dito sa axis ng y. Again, this is your y-axis. And at last, ano yung na-form na angle na to with your z-axis. Yun na may tinatawag natin, ulitin ko, this is your alpha, this is your beta, and this is your gamma. Okay? I hope maliwanag doon. And then guys, kung titingnan mo ngayon yan in 3D, okay? Kung titingnan mo ngayon to in 3D, that's why sabi ko nga sa inyo, masarap siyang ituro kung meron tayong ginagamit na access tulad nung pinagawa ko sa inyo sana, magamit sana natin yon. Mas madali natin mag-picture. But again guys, ito okay lang din naman to kasi na-drawingan ko naman. Kung mapapansin nyo guys, bawat angle na yan, okay, may na-form yan guys na ano, may na-form yan na right triangle. Okay? Ang unang right triangle na napapansin nyo dito is the blue one. Okay? Etong blue na to. Okay? Hindi lang natin siya maiikot, but this is a right triangle, guys. Okay? Right triangle yan. Hindi lang natin naiikot yung, hindi lang natin na-rotate yung figure, but this is a right triangle with that axis. Okay? Para naman guys, dito sa may kulay red naman, kung titingnan nyo, this is right triangle naman. Kung titingnan nyo kasi in 2D, hindi talaga siya mukhang right triangle. However, may specific na view dyan kung paano mo siya makikita as right triangle. Kasi kung mapansin nyo, andito yung point natin, ano yan, tabi-tabingi talaga yung mga right triangle na yan. And at last is for eto, green siguro to, may mabubuo kang triangle naman dito, right triangle din. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, in every coordinate angles, okay, meron ka ma-form na right triangle dyan. Okay, so kung XYZ component, XYZ plane yung force mo, therefore, tatlong right triangle yung ma-form doon sa may Cartesian vector na yun. Paano naman yun guys? Bakit natin kailangan yun? Para makuha natin yung pagsosolve ng angle. Okay? Makinig mabuti. Makinig munang mabuti. Okay? For blue muna tayo. I think, drawing ako ng tatlong triangle dito. Isang blue. Isang green, I think. Kung paano ko siya nakikita siguro. Teka lang. May mali. Okay. Yung unang triangle natin is pa ganyan. Yung pangalawang triangle natin is paano ko siya nakikita. Pag ganito ko siya nakikita. And then for your last naman is pag ganito. Kung papansin niyo, ito yan. Right triangle siya dito. Right triangle siya dito. At right triangle siya dito. Okay? Okay? Nagkakaintindihan ba? And then guys, para lang mas maliwanag. Okay? Para mas maliwanag. Ano ba yung na-form ng angle na to? With your x-axis. Teka lang. Uulitin ko siguro yung drawing. Wait lang Eto, sige. I-record ko na yung portion na to. Para lang hindi tayo malito. Although tama na may kanina. Wala naman pagbabago sa kanina. Burahin ko na lang din to guys. Okay? Meron lang akong gustong gawin para mas madali natin siyang maintindihan. Okay? I-redraw ko ngayon guys yung I-redraw ko ngayon guys yung triangle. How about eto yung gawin kong pula? Okay. Ayan yung gagawin kong pula. Okay, huwag nyo kalimutan yung loob. Labas ang tingnan natin dyan. Okay. May right triangle na form dyan. Okay. May right triangle na form. Okay. And then how about eto naman yung gawin ko na green. Okay. Okay. how about ito naman yung gawin ko na green? Huwag nyo isipin yung nasa loob, no? Yung kulay sa loob, huwag nyo isipin yun, okay? Yung labas yun, isipin nyo lang dyan, okay? And then, how about ito naman yung gawin ko as blue, okay? Or teal, okay? Whatever. And then, guys, kung mapapansin nyo, kaya ako binago na ganyan yan. Bakit? Para mabigyan ng way yung idea natin that this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis, and this is your z-axis. Okay? And then guys, knowing na yung alpha mo is towards the x-axis, eto ngayon yun. Tama? And yung beta mo naman is towards the y-axis, eto naman ngayon yun. Tama? And then for your beta, or for your gamma, eto naman yun ngayon guys. Ayan. Okay? Ginawa kong ganyan in order for us to have, alam mo yun, para mas madali maintindihan kasi nga yung color is nakakatulong din siya. So pag sineparate ko yan guys, i-separate ko siya kung paano ko siya nakikita, no? For teal muna tayo. Okay. Actually, hindi pa kasi tayo nagsa-sample problems. So pagdating natin ng sample problems, mas na maliliwanagan naman kayo doon. Okay? But guys, just in case kasi na makalimutan nyo kung ano ba yung ano, para hindi tayo puro kabisaduhan dito, at least may idea kayo. Okay? And then, this will be your triangle na ganyan. Hindi ko siya ganyan nakikita. Parang pag ganito yung right triangle niya. Okay? And then, para naman dun sa kulay green, paano ba yung right triangle niya? I think pag ganito. I hope napipicture nyo yung idea, no? Sorry, pangit yung drawing. Anyway. Okay? For dun sa may teal muna tayo, di ba? Ito yung right triangle niya. Okay? And then guys, yung angle na to, ano yan? If this is your z-axis, this is your A ngayon. Okay? This is your A ngayon. Okay? And then, ano naman na to is ito yung x-axis mo. Tama? And then, ito yung A mo. Okay? And this is your, parang naman dito guys, this is your y-axis. Ito yung A mo. Okay? I hope maliwanag yung part na yan. Okay? And then this is your beta. I mean alpha. This is your beta. Okay? And this is your gamma. And again guys, yung A mo for alpha muna tayo. For alpha, yung position coordinate vector mo or yung coordinate coordinate direction angles mo is yung angle na nafo-form ng A with the axis. So kung ang gamma, ang sabi ko nga sa inyo, ang alpha mo kanina is yung angle mo na nafo-form mo between your vector and your x-axis. And yung beta mo naman is yung nafo-form ng vector mo with the y-axis, at yung z naman is yung gamma naman is nafo-form ng A mo with the z-axis. So pagka na-separate mo yan into 3 triangles, di ba nga mag-form tayo ng mga triangles dyan? Ano, tingnan nyo yung nasa mirror na yan. Tingnan yung outline na, wag yung loob ng triangle, ano? Okay. Doon muna tayo sa teal, which is a z-axis. Pagka guys, ni-represent mo yan, hindi ba pagka kumuha tayo dyan, ano ba to ngayon? Ano ba yung portion natin na to ngayon? If that is your z-axis, di ba pwede nating sabihin that this is your AZ? Tama. Ngayon, pwede ko bang sabihin na by Pythagorean theorem, okay, meron tayong adjacent dyan. Ito yung angle natin, ano? So, ang magiging adjacent natin dyan is ito. Ang magiging hypotenuse natin is ito. Therefore, pwede ba natin sabihin that cosine, again, ang cos is ka, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, cosine ng gamma is simply equal to adjacent. Ano yung adjacent ulit? The AZ over the A. Okay? Paano naman dito sa may alpha? For alpha, guys, ito yung angle mo, therefore, magiging adjacent side niya is ito, and the hypotenuse will be ito. Kung ganun pala, this will represent as AX. Pwede ko bang sabihin that cosine alpha is equal to AX over A. And para naman guys, dito, di ba, if this is our angle, mali pala itong ginawa ko kanina. Hindi pala ito yung y-axis niya. Okay. Ang y-axis pala niya guys is around Ito pala guys, yung y-axis niya. Which is itong portion na to. Okay, itong portion na to. Dito pala siya right triangle. Okay, tama. Dito siya right triangle. Okay, and then guys, if this is ibig sabihin, ang adjacent natin dyan is the AY. Ang hypotenuse natin is A. So, ibig sabihin, ang cosine ng beta natin is simply AY over A. O, doon natin na-derive tong formula na to. Okay? Para guys, hindi lang basta litaw na litaw yung mga formula at nahirapan kayo mag-analyze. Okay? So, I think maliwanag tayo dun sa part na yun. Ulit-ulitin nyo lang guys kasi medyo nakakalito talaga tong topic na to. Pakiulit-ulit na lang para mas magets nyo siya. Okay? And then next is for the Cartesian vector. Okay, for the Cartesian vector, minsan kasi guys, yung angle na binibigay sa atin is hindi siya hindi siya along the y and z, hindi siya along the y, x, or z axis. Okay, yung tinatawag as horizontal and vertical angles. Paano ba nangyayari yun? Okay, paano ba nangyayari yun? If yung angle mo guys, is, last na ba to? Okay, actually last na pala yung isusunod dito. Okay, bago tayo mag-sample problem, last na concept na yun. So anyway, minsan yung vector component mo or yung vector unit mo dito, okay? Yung unit vector mo dito, ang angle niya na perform is within the binigay, okay? And then ito naman yung binigay for theta. So yan ba guys is position coordinate direction angles ba yan? Hindi. Tama? Hindi ba yan? Ito siguro yung phi siguro na yan. Okay? Ito sigurong phi na to, pwede dahil with respect to z-axis yan. However, ito guys, kung titingnan nyo mabuti no, wait lang. Nawawala yung Okay, kung titingnan nyo mabuti guys, ang tatawagin sana natin coordinate direction angles dyan is kung ano yung angle na to dito, ano yung angle na to dito sa y, at ano yung angle na to dito sa z. Okay? Pero hindi kasi ganun yung binigay. So, paano ba nangyari yon? Okay, minsan nangyayari kasi yan. So, therefore, alamin nyo lang din mabuti kung ano ba yung mga na-form na right triangles dyan. Okay? So, ibig sabihin lang, i-separate muna natin siguro yung for A. I think for A muna. Guys, this is your A prime, A prime yan. Okay? O for A muna siguro, for A, okay? For A, siguro mas okay if isolate natin yung right triangle. Pagka in-isolate natin guys yung right triangle yan, di ba? Pagka inilipat mo tong A prime na to, okay, i-red ko yan. Di ba? Pagka inilipat mo tong A prime na to dito, okay? Dito sa taas na yan, okay? Ang tendency niyan is makaka-form yan ng 90-degree angle with that one. Ibig sabihin, pwede ko ba siyang i-separate as may ganun naman pala. Pwede ko ba siyang i-separate as A prime? Tama ba? Ito yung part na to is your A prime. And then, this will be your phi. And then, this will be your AZ. Okay? This will be your AZ. Okay. This will be your AZ. And this will be your A. Sir, ba't ganun? Guys, lagi yung tatandaan that yung resultant na to, ito kasi resultant yan Okay, yung unit nyo na yan, yung unit ng force nyo na yan, na dinidistribute nyo into components is parang resultant yan. And always remember guys that the resultant vector is always the longest. Ibig sabihin, pag nirepresent nyo siya into triangles, yun yung pinakamahabang vector. So, mapansinin nyo, dito kasi sa figure natin na yan, mukhang mas maikli yung A. Tama ba ito yung A? Pero guys, in reality guys, dahil hindi nga lang natin naro-rotate yung object, pero ito talaga, supposedly, itong resultant vector, yung unit vector natin na yan, siya dapat guys yung pinakamahaba. So, ganito to yung tamang pag-draw ng right triangle. So, kung ganun pala, ibig sabihin, can we say na para makuha natin yung A, o ano yung mga mai-extract natin dito. Simply, for A, kunin natin itong dalawa na yan. Okay? For A prime muna. I think, sine of phi is equal to A prime over A. Okay? Is simply gawin natin na A prime is equal to A sine of phi. Tama? So, ito ngayon yung first equation natin with this one. I think yung gagawin ko muna yung pinaka-favorite nyo, hindi nagbabox. Yung ganito. Okay? And then for cosine of phi naman, okay, for cosine of phi, basically adjacent lang yon. Ito kasing kanina is opposite. Ito yung angle mo na phi, ang opposite niya is A prime, ang hypotenuse is A. For cosine naman, cosine of phi, ang gagamitin mo is ka, adjacent. Ang adjacent natin is AZ, ang hypotenuse natin is still A. Okay? Ibig sabihin, your AZ naman is simply equal to A cosine of phi. Okay? So, ito ngayon yung equation 2 natin dyan. Yan yung sa first triangle natin. Ngayon naman guys, how about the second triangle? Ang gagamitin naman natin is the theta. Okay? Kung mapansin nyo, makaka-form naman tayo ng triangle dito. Ito, tama. At pag nilipat natin yung y papunta dito, di ba makaka-form tayo ng right triangle dyan, which is ganyan yung mangyayari. Okay? Tama ba? So, ibig sabihin, ito guys, yung ginagamit natin na yun is by principle of, parallelogram law, yung lipat-lipat, yung mirror-mirror. Okay? O, ibig sabihin, gayahin lang ulit natin yun, I think. Wait lang. Okay, mainip, no? Mahalaga yung concept. Although recorded naman to, pero para mas mabilis natin siya mag-gets mamaya. Okay, tayo dumiretso. Okay, ayan, ganyan. And simply, pagka in-represent mo na ganun yan, eto nga yung magiging 90-degree angle mo dyan. Kung ganun pala, pwede ko bang sabihin that yung A prime mo naman dito, yung pinakamahaba. Okay? And then, ang opposite ng angle mo na to is yung AY dito. Tama? O, ibig sabihin, ang opposite ng angle theta mo is AY. At ang adjacent side niya is AX. Okay? Kung ganun, kung kukunin natin yung trigo function din, given the sign, theta naman is equal to, ano ba yung sign? Opposite muna, AY over A prime naman. Representing, we have AY is equal to A prime sine of theta. Okay? And then, para naman sa cosine of theta is simply equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Ang adjacent naman natin dito guys is the AX and the A prime. Simplifying for AX is simply A prime cosine of theta. Ngayon guys, this is our equation, This is our equation, ano tawag dito? This is our equation 1, equation 2, equation 3, and then equation 4. Para ma-eliminate natin, ang goal natin is lagi ma-eliminate yung A prime. Kasi yan, pagbaga hindi natin alam yung value ng A prime na yan. Ano lang yan, ginagamit lang natin yung A prime na yan para ma-represent natin yung mga vector natin. Pero guys, always ang goal natin is ma-eliminate yan. So, kaya tayo nakapag-derive ng formula. Anyway, okay, so ang A prime natin, so para ma-eliminate natin A prime, can we say na substitute equation 1 to equation 3 na to. Equation 3 and 4. Pwede ba? I think pwede naman. Okay, I think pwede naman. Substitute natin yung equation. Ulitin ko nga ang pangit. Okay? Substitute equation 1 to equation 3 and equation 4. Okay? Meron ang equation 1 natin, by the way, is A equal to sine of phi. O, ibig sabihin, pwede ko bang sabihin, if we're going to, then therefore, yung AY mo ngayon is simply equal to A sine of phi sine of theta. And yung AX mo is equal to A sine of phi cosine of theta. Para sa mga magtatanong, yung A sine of theta po na yan, or phi na yan is equal to A prime. Ito yung nakuha natin sa taas kanina. This one. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, okay na. And then guys, ito is okay lang nakabisaduhin yung formula na to. However, may mga limitations to. Okay? Makinig. Paano yan? Paano ba yon? Okay? Mag-note ako. If you're going to apply this, make sure, if you're going to apply this formula, okay, kung hindi nyo siya i-derive, itong formula na to, if gagamitin nyo to, for your AY, okay, and then ito naman is for AZ, kung gagamitin nyo to, okay, kung gagamitin nyo yung mga formulas na yan, guys, make sure that yung phi mo is referenced with the z axis, and then make sure that theta is referenced with the x axis. Okay? Kasi kung hindi, mamamali ka. Mamaya, papakaliwanag ko sa'yo. So, sample problem. And then guys, for the last one sa concept, okay, doon na tayo guys sa summation ng sa summation guys nung addition ng Cartesian vector. Kasi tulad niya ng sabi ko kanina, di ba? Hindi lang naman isang force yung kino-consider natin when we are talking about the resultant of force system. Kasi kaya nga tayo kumukuha ng resultant kasi two or more forces na yung nag-a-act doon sa object natin. At hindi mo siya matatawag na force system kung iisa lang, syempre. Okay? So, paano yun? So, kung dati kumukuha tayo in 2D, okay, in 2D, di ba? Meron kang X, meron kang Y, meron kang X. Yung force mo na dalawa is nag-a-act dito. Okay? Ngayon, ito meron pong angle. Siguro sabihin natin na theta. Ito namang isa is may angle na beta. Okay? Ngayon, ang gagawin mo dyan, this is your F1 and this is your F2. Ang tendency niya, ang gagawin mo is magsa-summation forces. Horizontal ka, equal to Fx. Okay? Is equal to, yung F1 mo, cosine of theta, plus yung F2 cosine of beta. And then for Fy naman is simply summation ng Fy, F1 sine of theta, plus F2 cosine of, F2 sine of beta. So, ganyan in 2D. In 3D naman guys, halos same lang din yon. Kung titingnan nyo mabuti, okay, the addition and subtraction of two or more vectors is greatly simplified if the vectors are expressed in terms of their Cartesian components. For example, yung A mo is AXI, A is equal to AXI plus AYJ plus AZK. These are is in vector form. Ibig sabihin, yung force A mo na to, okay, tingnan red. Etong force A mo na to is represented into vector form. And, ganun din yung B mo. Which is yung B mo naman is BXI plus BYJ plus BZK. Represented din siya into vector form. Ito naman yun guys. Diba yung sabi nga natin sa'yo kanina, dalawa guys, yung para matawag natin siya na force system is either two or more forces siya nag-a-act mo in a concurrent manner. Okay? Ngayon, kung dati nga is pinagsasama-sama natin lahat ng horizontal component, ala naman nagbago dito. Para makuha mo yung resultant, kunin mo lang din guys yung resultant component. Para makuha mo yung resultant guys dito, basically kunin mo lang din yung horizontal, hindi nga tayo tatawag nun, yung x component, the y component, and the z component, okay? Which is the summation of all the horizontal component, of all the x component, of all the y component, and of all the z component. Kung titingnan mo, yung resultant natin dito is r. Ito yung r. Ibig sabihin, a plus b Okay? Para makuha mo yung resultant ng a plus b, kailangan mo ngayon kunin yung yung summation ng x component nila, yung summation ng y component, yung summation ng yung summation ng z component. And then guys, para makuha mo yung resultant ng force mo na yon, o yung resultant force mo na yon, ang gagawin mo lang dyan is i-add up mo guys yung alin? I-add up mo yung summation na yon. Okay? At paano natin kinukuha to? Okay? Paano natin kinukuha yan? Parang ganun din sa kanina. I-extract mo, okay? I-extract mo yung mga, teka lang, nawala na. Okay? Hala. Okay? I-extract mo guys, eto, at eto. At para makuha mo yung FR is simply square root lang ng fx square plus fy square, summation plus summation ng fz square. So, ganun lang kadali yung pagkuha ng resultant component natin. Okay? Nagkakaintindihan ba? I think mag-example na tayo. Okay, so for sample problem number 1.